Hello and welcome to another one of our legal videos. I am pleased to invite our guest. Some call him Bruce Grobbelaar, others call him Jason Statham. We know him as Al Fagan. Al, welcome to the channel.
Thank you, mate. Bruce Grobbelaar. Wow. Cheers, mate.
It's actually really good to invite you to the channel. Okay, we've had some hilarious stories off camera, but the purpose of today's video is probably to start with your early days, actually, as a biking journalist. So you started with fast bikes.
Yes.
Many years ago.
Nearly 20 years. Yeah, 20 years ago now, yeah.
And I think it's fair to say life is very different now in the digital world with 44 Teeth and making content. I mean, over to you, really. Tell us the differences you face.
Yeah, I mean, coming from fast bikes, there was always that, people remember fast bikes as if it was the shaky years and, the wheelies, the burnouts and, messing around on anywhere on a bike. And the simple fact is when we started at fast bikes in 2005-06, we could still get away with lots, but you really, you had to be a bit careful. We couldn't do what Shaky and those boys were doing in those videos. Obviously, as the years went on and cameras came out and things happened and it was becoming more and more apparent that, you couldn't do stand-up wheelies at 140 mile an hour down the motorway.
Yeah. And you know what? And that's my memories back in the day were always of like the front page of fast bikes and someone's got a wheelie or someone's doing a rolling burnout.
Yeah, if it wasn't a burnout or a wheelie or something stupid, something extreme on the front cover, it's not worth putting on.
You can't get away with that nowadays, can you?
And of course, going from fast bikes to 44 Teeth, now obviously it's our own company. Although we haven't got, we don't do risk assessments or well, we do, but we haven't got an HR team or anything like that. It's very different because you cannot do anything illegal on the road now because it's all video and it's all I'm sure you've seen it yourself. If someone films himself doing 75 mile an hour and 60. Just because they blur out the speedo, they can still get caught.
Yeah, and prosecuted. Yeah. My memory of the front page days, and it was always on the public road. It was front cover shot of someone doing a rolling burnout. And of course, if you put a YouTube video of someone doing that now, someone's going to report it.
Yeah.
The old Bill were looking at it. I mean, we were talking off camera about Operation Snap. So Operation Snap is the UK police forces, so I think all forces have signed up for it, and it is their portal to get dash cam footage, not just your dash cam footage as a rider, but if you're passing people on the highway and they've got a camera running, and you are doing the silly things that used to go on, 10, 20 years ago, they will report it.
Yes.
And all of a sudden you get a knock on the door or a notice through the post because someone's got video evidence of you doing something silly on the bike, which was the norm.
Exactly.
All those years ago.
It was perfectly acceptable back then.
Yeah. It is absolutely textbook dangerous driving.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't condone it at all.
No,
okay?
no, and we don't. But if you think that what was the norm all those years ago, I mean, now dangerous driving comes with a very real possibility of custody. Okay, so I mean, you will be going to prison for it. All of a sudden, it makes that cool shot that you wanted to get not worthwhile.
No,
because it's going to be captured somewhere.
Yeah.
Again, dangerous driving. You're convicted. You've also got to do an extended retest. No chance of getting your license back straight away just through an application. You have to go sit an extended retest. So, how do you grapple with that with the 44 Tweet videos, or is the answer just be a bit more sensible?
Be a bit more sensible. Do the stuff that we want to do or used to be able to do on track because there's no coppers there.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, ultimately we cannot do what we used to do, and that's fine. That's evolution, that's life, and I'm just glad to have been a part of it when we could get away with it.
Yeah.
In the golden days.
I think we can sit here and remember the golden days quite fondly, but the other aspects of that is road safety, and if you're actually going to have less casualties, less people hurt on the roads, we can all agree that's a good thing.
Definitely.
You told me the story of was it? I'm not sure if I mentioned the other two riders, but you having an exuberant ride on the way home. Tell me that story because there's a legal aspect to that as well.
So again, this is a long time ago, right? And this is a long time ago.
Past limitation.
Yeah. So we were riding on the way back from Spa, the track, on these 3 big adventure bikes with 2 of my colleagues who I won't mention. They've both got big noses. But yeah, riding back and just coming out of a local city onto a dual carriageway, and we're like, oh, nearly home. We all live 5 minutes away from each other, nearly home, and hoisted these sort of three mingers down the dual carriageway. And, you know, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, thought nothing of it, put the wheels down, and the mirrors were just full of blues and twos, and thinking, oh, no, this is it. This is bad. So we just stopped, put our hands like this, waiting for the cuffs to come out. And he said, boys, it's late at night. Obviously you can ride, which I thought, that was fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you, mate. Obviously you can ride. Are these your bikes? And we went, no, they're press bikes. And he went, oh, God, go on. And just let us go.
Yeah. And actually, we talk about the good old days. I think a lot of police discretion, which existed back in the day, has probably gone now because of the advent of cameras everywhere.
Right, okay.
And if you go, there's a roads policing car with a camera running, and he's captured 3 people, you know, who can ride well, but are committing an offence by wheeling. I think the police now are under so much scrutiny themselves that the officer might go, look, I could use my discretion, but I might be looked at, you know, dereliction of duty. What have I done wrong? I'm sorry, lads, but, you know, here's your summons, and you'll all be dealt with. So, yeah, cameras has changed the behaviour, I think, of
everyone,
of every
not
road
just
user.
riders,
coppers
as well,
motor journalists like yourself, coppers, in how they deal.
Because the camera's always on, I guess, isn't it?
It is,
for them. They can't just go, oh, turn it off.
Well, exactly that. Exactly. Not only the camera on there, but also their body-worn video. You know, they snap on, and things are very different in this day and age. That doesn't really happen abroad, though, does it? Because I watch your videos, and I know you do a lot of riding abroad, and this is both good and bad. I know we spoke about Brexit in some previous videos, but there is arguably a Brexit benefit here for moto journalists like yourself.
Yes.
There's a story on an island. What launch was it? Was it a KTM?
It was a KTM launch.
Yeah.
So there was typical launch. You go out in a group of you. There was 12. I think it was 12 of us, including the lead rider, and we're just enjoying the roads, having some fun. Not going that quickly, but there was an unmarked police car who captured all of us going a bit fast, and then before you know it, there was a marked police car who stopped us, and they pulled over the guy at the back, and we all thought, well, he's pulling him over. He hasn't tried to pull all of us over because we can't hear him, we can't see him. So they pulled this one guy over. I can't remember who it was, and we thought, oh, brilliant, we'll just all of us ride away. So the rest of us just rode away, and thought, actually, we're on a tiny island. They know who we are because obviously manufacturers, when they go to a country, have to declare where they are and what they're doing with the launch. And eventually we just sort of rode back to the main road and said, yeah, okay, here we are.
Yeah.
And we all got a fine, which thankfully we didn't have to pay.
Yeah, the manufacturer paid it. Yeah. Well, that got me thinking, actually, because before Brexit, being part of a single union, if you're a rider abroad, whether you're in France or Germany or Portugal, and you got stopped or actually flashed by a camera, there was the ability for the single union, the country that you went to get your information and then deal with you through the courts. Post-Brexit, and I checked this before we made the video, there is no reciprocal agreement with countries like France. So if you go to France, you get caught speeding by a camera, and you come back to the UK, there's really nothing that can be done about it whatsoever.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. Well, unless you get stopped in person.
Okay,
and of course, there's a famous one. I think Jeremy Clarkson got stopped, didn't he, driving a Ferrari through France, and they said, "Sir, it's best that you don't drive anymore through this country." So, if you're stopped in person, they can deal with you there and then.
Yeah.
But going back to the story of you on the island, I mean that's failed to stop for the police. And it sounds like they had a sense of humour failure, but it all got dealt with.
It wasn't exactly a fail to stop because they only pulled over
the
guy at the back.
Yeah. I mean, in the UK, I mean, if you are guilty of failing to stop for police, unbelievably, I had to look this up before we came on camera. It's a fine only.
No.
Yeah, it's a fine only. What we see a lot on TV, I think it's normally the manner of the driving
of course,
to stop.
The getaway.
Yeah, the getaway. Yeah, that's what triggers the dangerous, and that's what triggers then the potential prison sentence. We were talking about foreign drivers come to the UK, okay?
Yes.
So although it might be a Brexit benefit, the same applies in reverse. So Mr. Frenchman, if he comes to the UK and is caught speeding, the police officer can't summons him because he can't write to an address in France. We've got the power to deal with it over there. There's no reciprocal agreement. But we have got the power, if you stop someone speeding from a foreign country, to deal with them there and then. So that might be on the spot fine, or if it's a really terrible offence, it might be they are placed under arrest and then brought before the courts the next day. So none of that happened to you though.
No.
A fine only.
No, just a fine, thankfully. Yeah.
Okay. So on the grand scheme of things, got away with it fairly lightly, I'd say. Does it happen often?
I mean, there's obviously the famous one where I haven't actually mentioned to you yet about the 44 Teeth one, where Chris got caught speeding in Switzerland.
Yes.
And he got a fine, a £4,500 fine, and escorted out the country. And because my number plate was blanked off by a car we were overtaking, they couldn't prove it was me, even though it was blatantly me. In short, yes, it does happen quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't do it in Switzerland.
Yes, don't do it in Switzerland. Yeah.
In fact, we might put a link to that video down below, because I remember watching that. And I mean, that's evidence though, isn't it? It's pure evidence. I think Chris was unlucky enough to get caught by the camera.
Yes.
You were lucky enough for a third party vehicle to block it.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact, there was no issue you being the rider. You admitted you were the rider.
Yes.
But they just said, we haven't got evidence of your speed, so we can't deal with you. Did you get escorted out of Switzerland or not? Oh, so you were free to continue to...
So Chris had to put his bike in the van and I had to ride all the way.
Oh, right.
Which is,
Did you win that budget bike battle?
Funnily enough, no, although I should have done.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll have to take that with Chris, I think, on another video. But Al, thank you very much for coming in to see us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
As ever, if you could leave your comments below, any legal questions you've got or criminal questions, put them below. We do read them. We will do a follow-up video. And thank you for enjoying this video.